After the Qing dynasty dissolved, the warlords took over China. The GMD and the CCP joined forces in an attempt to make a unified China. But after Sun Yat-sen died, Chiang Kai-shek decided that communists were a threat. Thus began the White Terror. The GMD made a campaign to kill any communist, unionist, and peasant leader in the thousands. This made the CCP and the GMD enemies, and forced the CCP out of the cities. Li Lisan wanted to stay in the cities, as that was the true communist way, whereas Mao wanted to escape to Jiangxi. The CCP went with Mao's idea, even though Li Lisan was his superior. After a failed attack on the GMD, the Soviets sent the 28 Bolsheviks, a Moscow-educated group of Chinese communists, to lead the CCP. During the Fifth Encirclement Campaign, the CCP was forced to make a retreat to Shanxi. This was a 10,000-kilometer walk and would prove to be quite a difficult one, losing half of their men alone at Shang River. Shortly after, they held an election at Zunyi. During this conference, Mao was elected leader of the CCP, and the 28 Bolsheviks were tossed aside. This would set the grim scene for Mao's China. The rest of the trek proved again quite perilous, killing another 40% of Mao's people. After settling in, they began going to countrysides and recruiting people to fight for the CCP. They continued with guerrilla warfare and held the GMD off long enough until they had enough men to engage in a normal war. Then the CCP and the GMD joined forces to fight the Japanese in the northeast of China. Chiang didn't trust the CCP enough to let them go to the front line, so this and poor treatment in general led to many of the GMD's troops to desert and join the CCP. Then the US government got involved and bombed Japan. Twice. The civil war between the CCP and the GMD continued. With many more men, the CCP began to fight the war in a more conventional style. Patrick Hurley attempted to sanction peace among the two parties, and it looked good for a bit, but then Manchuria opened up and fighting continued shortly after. The Soviets got to Manchuria first and gave all the Japanese stockpiles to the CCP. The GMD did successfully take Shanxi, but it was too late. With dwindling supplies, the full force of the CCP came down on Chiang. Soon after, the entire eastern seafront would be taken. The GMD were forced to retreat to Taiwan, and all of China belonged to the PRC. While both parties agree there is one China, there is a dispute over which territories belong to which group. Some of the Taiwanese believe mainland China is currently occupied by an enemy force, whereas the Republic of China believes Taiwan is a breakaway province that must be taken back.